Hello and welcome everybody to Global Education's Study Abroad Virtual Expo 2022. Today I'm joined by my colleague Xiao Ying from Reading University in the United Kingdom, and we are so lucky to have her on board today to tell us a little bit more about this fantastic institution. So we are Global Education. We assist students with start to finish of the entire application process. At the end of this webinar, if you have any questions, please do pop them into the chat box. If you have any questions outside of this webinar, if you're watching this recording, please feel free to send us an email. You'll see all of our contact details at the end of this presentation. But in the meantime, thank you, Xiaoying, for joining us. It's so great to have you here with us today. And I'm so excited for you to tell us a bit more about this institution. So take it away.
Thank you, Mariana. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Xiao Ying. I'm from the University of Reading, and I look after our students from South Africa. I'm very pleased to be here today to tell you a bit more about the University of Reading and our great offering for scholarships in 2022 academic year. Before I start the presentation, I would like to share my slides with you so you can see the presentation and the information that I'm talking about. Let me quickly just share my screen. I hope you can see it.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, that's perfect. So I just saw another student just join us just now, so I want to give another quick introduction about myself. So I'm Xiao Ying. I'm the regional manager for East and Southern Africa at the International Office at the University of Reading. So today I'm very pleased to be here today to introduce Reading and also our great offer for the Master's Scholarships for you if you're looking for the 2022 intake this year. So just to introduce Reading and the location. So Reading, we are not too far from London. We are in Southeast England. If you travel from central London, there is direct train going from the London centre to Reading station, and it takes about 25 minutes. It's really convenient. And so the train is very frequent as well. If you take the train from central London, it's every 10-15 minutes. So really, really easy access for our students to go to London, or for students when they arrive in London, they can come to Reading very easily. And so myself, I live in London, and I work in Reading. So it's quite easy for me to travel, even though I would still recommend our students to live in Reading, because it can be quite costly as well if you want to travel that far every day. For international students arrive at London Heathrow Airport, there is direct coach coming from Heathrow Terminal 5 at the airport directly to Reading Town Centre. And also another big airport in London, Gatwick Airport, there is direct train coming into Reading as well. So it's really, really good transport links at the airport, and it's very well connected. For international students, it's very easy. When you arrive at London, it takes you about 40 minutes from the airport going into Reading Centre. Also, Reading is very well connected with other major cities in the UK. For example, Oxford is about 20 to 30 minutes on train as well. And you can also take trains to other major cities in the UK, for example, Cardiff, Birmingham, Manchester. It's very well connected and very convenient location for Reading. And Reading is a commercial centre in Thames Valley in the UK. We have a lot of technology company, telecommunications company here at Reading. The UK headquarters of Microsoft and Oracle, they are located in Reading. And also a lot of multinational companies, including Prudential, Huawei, Ericsson, PepsiCo, they do have office in Reading as well. So this gives our students really good opportunities if they would like like to look for work experience during the study in Reading or after they graduate their study in Reading. And also, like I mentioned, London is not too far. If you want to look for work experience, there are many opportunities in Reading and also in London as well. And to live in Reading is very vibrant place for our students. There are lots happening here. So Reading Festival is one of the biggest music festivals in the UK. It happens in Reading every year. So in August, you will see lots of music fans. They come to Reading to attend this festival. It's very busy and it's very vibrant. It's a lot of fun as well. And in the town centre, we have Oracle Shopping Centre for our students to do some shopping, very convenient. And lots of green spaces in the countryside around Reading as well. If you want to go for a weekend trip just to enjoy the nature, there are lots of options for you. So the University of Reading, we have over 125 years of history. We used to be the extended college of the University of Oxford, and we became a university on our own in 1926. So Reading is the only university in the UK that is awarded a royal charter to become a university between the two world wars. Like I said, we gained our royal charter in 1926. So it's coming up to 100 years of the university status. It's very exciting for us. And since then, we have educated over 150,000 students from all over the world, basically. So Reading, we are a very international community. You can see a lot of our students, as well as staff from different countries, from different culture background. It's a very friendly and international environment. And Reading, we are a full-time winner of the Queen's Anniversary Prize for Higher Education. So to recognize our achievement and also our outstanding contribution here in the UK for higher education. One of the highlights, and also my personal favorite, is the White Nice campus. It's really green, it's really beautiful, and we have received our 11th Green Flag Award in 2021. So this is a picture of our White Nice campus. So the weather is really beautiful today, and I wish I can show you around our campus. But hopefully you will get to see the campus in person in this autumn. You can see our campus, it's very green. We even have a lake on the campus. So we have teaching buildings at the White Nice campus, as well as our accommodation building and some sports facilities as well. And of course, some other facilities for our students. For example, we have a supermarket, we have canteen, we have library, we even have a hairdresser, bookshop, coffee shop. So really nice and convenient for our students to study and live on the campus. And I think nowadays, during the pandemic and even after the pandemic, people really appreciate space, outdoor space where you can just go out for a walk or just enjoy the weather when you feel tired or when you've been indoors. So Reading, we have a really beautiful campus that has a lot to offer to our students. Here are some of the stats about the university. So Reading, we are a research-intensive university. 98% of our research are internationally recognized. And for the world ranking, the most recent QS World Ranking 2022, we are ranked 202nd in the world, so just outside 200. And in terms of the employment rate, we've got really good employment rate here. 94% of our graduates are at work or at further study after within 6 months of the graduation. And this is the academic structure. As you can see, Reading, we offer a good variety of programs here for undergraduate and postgraduate levels. So there are 4 main categories. The first one, arts, humanities, and societies. Some of the programs that are quite popular for international students, for example, arts and communication, designs, economics, education, film and theatre and TV, language and cultures, law, politics, and international relations. And the second category is science programs. We have architecture, geography and environmental science, construction management and engineering, computer science, meteorology, which is one of our very strong subject here at Reading. And we also have life science, agriculture policy and development, biological sciences, chemistry, food and nutritional sciences, pharmacy, psychology. We have lots of courses here for life sciences. And last but not least, Henley Business School. So many of our students from South Africa are very interested in our Henley Business School, especially for our real estate and planning course in undergraduate and postgraduate programs. And besides that, we also have finance, accounting, management, marketing, information management, lots of different courses at Henley Business School that we offer as well. So some of the subjects we are really strong, and we rank top 20 in the UK. Land and property management, we are ranked second in the UK. So that is the real estate courses in Henley. And also agriculture, we see quite a lot of students from Africa are interested in agricultural programs. We are ranked second in the UK. Speech and language therapy, this is within our psychology department. We are ranked third in the UK, and also some programs in town and country planning and landscape design, building. We are ranked top 5, art and design, number 6 in the UK, food science, marketing, education, architecture, all these are top 20 in the UK. So some of the areas that here I really wanted to highlight. Like I said, Reading, we are a research intensive university. We have done a lot of research here that are internationally recognized, and also that have done huge contribution to the world. Meteorology and climate science is one of them. So as you are aware, climate change, climate science is such a hot topic around the world now. Many people are very interested in looking at the climate issue around the world, and Reading, we are really good at this area. We are ranked second in the world for research in meteorology and atmospheric sciences. You may have seen these color strips on the PowerPoint slides. So this is one of the research we've done here at Reading by our scientist, Professor Ed Hawkins, to look at the average temperature around the world. So as you can see, from blue to red is getting hotter and hotter. So these climate strips has been downloaded for almost 1 million times around the world. And when people talk about climate change or the global warming issue or media or on research, you may have seen they have been used our contribution, our research here at Reading. And also for Nobel Prize in 2007, the Nobel Peace Prize, Reading scientists in meteorology again have done huge contribution. And we are very proud of what we have done in climate sciences and also in meteorology. And another area is agriculture, food and health. So like I said, agriculture, we are ranked top 5 in the UK, and around the world, QS subject ranking, we are ranked 12 in the world, and also that's number 1 in UK universities. So when we look at agriculture, we look at different aspects, and it's not just traditional agriculture. We also look at the global issues like global change and also international development, food, hunger, poverty, diet, health, and also like food safety as well, food security. So there are different aspects that here we look at, and we offer a range of subjects for postgraduate levels in the school. And of course, our Henley Business School. So Henley was founded in 1945, being one of the oldest business schools in the UK. You may have heard of Henley. So the reason why it's very famous and it's very well known, one of the reasons is because it's triple accredited. So it's accredited by UK, European, and US accreditation body. Around the world, there are less than 1% of business schools that have triple accreditation, and Henley is one of them. So within Henley Business School, we have a finance center, which is called the ICMA Center. So ICMA stands for International Capital Market Association. And the organization was founded in Switzerland. Then they formed this ICMA Center within Henley Business School in 1990s to teach finance programs in Henley for, again, both graduate and undergraduate and postgraduate levels. And we've got really good facilities in ICMA Center. We have 3 dealing rooms, over 100 trading simulation terminals for our students to practice trading in real time. So it's really fun. It's really interesting class for our students to experience, where you can see the stocks going up and down, and where you can see your gains and loss. Of course, those are not real money, but it's really, really interesting class for students who are interested in finance. And so I hope that gives you a little overview of the university. And coming up, I'm going to tell you a bit more about our scholarship scheme for 2022 academic year. So each year we have this scholarship scheme. It may be different every year. So the information that I'm providing today is for this autumn term in 2022. So for the scholarship, first of all, I would like to tell you a little bit more about the cost to study in the UK. So it's very important for you to understand the cost and to plan your budget when you look at studying in the UK. So here at Reading, for our master's programs for this academic year, we have 2 bands mainly for our programs. So band 1 is 18,650 pound for international students for 1 year, and for subjects band 2 is 22,850. So for courses like humanities, for example, history, international relations, this kind of subjects, they tend to be band 1, and for band 2 is mostly related to some science program. So they will be under this 22,000 tuition fee. So there are mainly 2 categories for different subjects. And when you look at Henley Business School, there are some non-standard fees for some programs. So you will be able to check the tuition fee on our course page, where you will see the tuition for your course that you want to apply, and also for the particular academic year. So each year the price may be slightly different as well. So something that you can pay attention to when you do your research. And also, of course, the tuition fee will be on your offer letter. If you have applied for the course and you receive an offer letter, then you will see the information on the letter. For students who are looking to do part-time, the tuition fee will be 50% of the full-time tuition fee each year. But do bear in mind that for international students, it's very unlikely that you will do part-time study. Most of the international students will do full-time study at the university. And if you are looking to do part-time, you will need to check if your visa status will allow you to do a part-time course in the UK. And like I said, tuition fees, they will be confirmed in the offer letter of admission. When you receive the letter, you should be able to see all the information, including starting days, the length of your program, as well as the tuition fee. And when you apply for master's program, if you want to accept your offer, there will be a £1,000 deposit required for most courses here. So do bear in mind, if you want to accept your offer, then you will need to pay this £1,000. And of course, the £1,000 will be deducted from your tuition fee once you enroll into the university. So it's just to secure your place when you accept your offer. And tuition fees, it can be paid in 2 installments each year. So it's 50% before you start the program in September, and the second half will be due before the start date in the spring term in January. So you can pay by installments, or you can pay in full when you start in September. And so that is why it's very important that you should factor in the funding that is needed in place before you commence your study. Like I said, you will need to pay at least 50% for your tuition fee before you start a program in the autumn term. And of course, tuition fee will be the majority of your cost to study in the UK. There will be some personal expenses as well that you need to consider for budget. Of course, personal expenses are variable factors in your budget. It can be related to your lifestyle. So it really varies, depends on like your demand and also your lifestyle. But the living cost in general, the average will be at least £1,250 per month. So hopefully that will give you an idea what it is like and how much you need to budget for your study in the UK. And of course, there are some other costs like flight ticket. You need to travel from South Africa to the UK. And also there is immigration health surcharge. That is like £400 and £700 per year for international students. So that is like health insurance for you to use the NHS system in the UK. And of course, you may be able to take up some part-time employment as well when you study in the UK. So I believe your visa, if you're an international student, you will be allowed to work up to 20 hours per week during term time. But you need to be realistic about this option to do a part-time job, considering if you're only doing 1 year for your master's in the UK, it will be intensive study. You will be spending a lot of time to study during term time, and also for the summer master students, you will be working on your dissertation. So that would take up a lot of your time in the UK. And for part-time jobs, there are some options on the campus if you're interested in on-campus jobs, or there are some options outside the campus as well. But mainly it will be related to, for example, hospitality, or at the university, we do have some part-time job, campus job available for our students to work in different departments, or as student ambassadors to help with our open days, etc. So there are some opportunities for part-time employment, but you have to be realistic about how much time you can spend, and also how much it can contribute to your cost. So for our scholarships, there are different types of scholarships, but in general, there are 2 types. One is fully funded. So there's full funding that covers the tuition fees and living expenses. And another type is partial scholarships. So that will be applied as fee deduction for your tuition fees to cover like a small amount of the tuition fee that you study in at the university. So eligibility can be very different depending on which type of scholarships that you apply for. So you need to look at the specific criteria when you apply for scholarships. Sometimes it's related to the program that you apply for. Sometimes it's related to the country that you are domiciled or you're from. So do check on the criteria when you apply for the scholarships, because it can be very different from one scholarship to the other. And for our scholarships here, we have master scholarships that are open to all master students, and some scholarships that are subject specific. And there are deadlines to apply for scholarships as well. And in general, they are quite early, the deadlines. It can be earlier than the deadline to apply for the program. So do bear in mind, if you want to apply for scholarships, it's better for you to plan ahead and to apply for the course as early as you can, so that you can receive your decision on your application, and then you can plan for the next steps. And the application process can also be very different if you're applying for different scholarships, but those information again will be available on the website to look at for different scholarships that you're applying for. And here for the source of funding, we have scholarships that are funded by the university, and also we have scholarships that are funded by outside organization as well. So at the university, we have over £1.5 million scholarships in funding each year by the university. And like I said, we also have funding from external sources, that is our partners that we work with, for example, the British Council, that offer scholarships to our students. So there are quite a lot of scholarships options for our students to support them to come to study in the UK. And most scholarships become available once you have received an offer of admissions. So do bear in mind, if you want to apply for scholarships, you will need to have applied for a master's program at the university and also have received an offer letter, like offer of admissions to the program, before you can apply for scholarships. And that is the reason why I just mentioned that it's better for you to plan ahead and apply for a course as early as you can if you have decided, so that you can plan for the next steps to apply for scholarships. There are multiple scholarships opportunities at the university, and there are more than one partial scholarships that may be awarded. So it is possible to combine scholarships if you are applying for different partial scholarships, and if you are successful in multiple scholarships awards. The selection of the scholarships, they are primarily based on the academic accomplishments. So that will be your GPA in the university for your bachelor degree. We also take account of your extra curriculum or your work experience as well, but mainly is academic performance in your bachelor degree. And some account will be taken for your overall funding situation. Like I said, the university scholarships, most of them are partial scholarships, so that will only cover a small amount of your tuition fee here at the university. So we do need to consider the remainder of the tuition fee, the situation, the funding situation, and if you are able to support yourself to come and study with this scholarship and the rest of the tuition fee. It's very important to read the terms and conditions for the scholarships that you apply for, to bear in mind about the criteria and also about the application process as well, and to prepare for a personal statement offline. So normally when you apply for the scholarships, it's quite common that you will need to fill in a personal statement to include information about your situation and also your academic background. And because all this application will be online, so it's better for you to prepare it offline, just in case something happened to your system, so you have this saved on your computer that you can upload to the application form online. It's a very competitive process to apply for scholarships. We want to attract our talented students and reward achievements. So do factor in some time to prepare for the scholarships application. It's a very competitive process, and we also want to make sure that we award the most suitable and talented students and support them to come and study here at the University of Reading. So to apply for our master's scholarships, once you have applied for a program, a master's program at the University of Reading, and once you have received an offer letter for the program, then you should be able to access the information of scholarships via the Me and Reading applicant portal, and also that is where you will see the application form for the scholarships and submit your application for the scholarship. So it's all in Meet at Reading applicant portal. Of course, we have a dedicated web page where you will find the details of all the funding opportunities and also budgeting to study at the university here on our webpage. So a bit detail of our Master Scholarship scheme for the 2022 academic year. So this is the Centenary Scholarships here that we offer at the university, and is also funded by the university. So the scholarship schemes, we offer £4,000 for international students. So that is for successful applicants. So this year we have double the award to 100 scholarships for international students and UK students combined. Last year we only had 50, so this year we have double the award to 100, which is really, really good news for our students. And there are 2 schemes, but it's only one application form. So it's the subject scholarships and also the Centenary Scholarships. You only need to fill in one application form, and you will be considered for 2 applications for scholarships if you are eligible. Bear in mind, for the subject scholarships, not every subject will be eligible to apply for the subject scholarships, but there are some subjects that is eligible. So if the program that you apply for is eligible for both scholarships, then you only need to submit one application and you will be considered for both scholarships. So like I said, for the scholarships, you can combine scholarships. So if you are successful on both scholarships, then you can use 2 scholarships to fund your study. There are 2 rounds of application for the scholarships. So the first deadline is 1st of March, which is passed already. But don't worry, we have second round, which is on the 15th of June, the deadline. So if you have applied for a course at the university and received an offer, then you can submit your scholarship application as soon as possible. Or if you haven't applied for the university, there is still time for you to submit your application for the program that you want to apply for. And if you're successful on your application, then you can apply for scholarships by 15th of June. And we also have scholarships for our Henley students. So Henley Business School, they have scholarship scheme for master students as well. So typically the offer that Henley scholarships have is £5,000 to £10,000 for tuition fee deduction. Again, it's very generous scholarship scheme, and it's for different Henley programs. Like you can see the list of programs here. To apply for the Henley scholarships, again, is also at Meet at Reading applicant portal. And I would like to mention that for Henley scholarships, again, you will need to have applied for the Henley program and also have received an offer of admissions before you can apply for the scholarships. For the Henley scholarships is awarded on a rolling basis, so there's no application deadline. But if you have received an offer, again, it's better for you to apply as soon as you can. And the scholarships application for 2022 entry is now open for Henley students. And we also have subject scholarships from other departments. So the Graduate Institute of International Development, Agriculture and Economics, that's GIDE, at the university, have 300,000 worth of master scholarships for students who are interested in the program in the school. So the amount of the scholarship is same as our master scholarship. So it's £4,000 for international students. The deadline to apply is slightly later, so it's by 1st of July. And you will need to apply the scholarships on the school website instead of the applicant portal. So of course, we have a lot of other University of Reading managed scholarships as well. So you can see the long list here. I'm not gonna list every one of them, but you will see that there are lots of options depending on the programs that you apply for. And also we have our master scholarships that I just mentioned that apply to all master students, no matter which program you apply for. So do check on our website and see which scholarships is eligible to apply for you. There are plenty of options. We also have scholarships for accommodation and also scholarships that's related to other programs like food and nutritional sciences and also English language as well. So lots of options here for you to choose, and it's very important if you are looking for scholarships option, be proactive to do your research and also to look at the scholarships eligibility and the application process, and also to submit your application as soon as you can. And also there are some other external funded scholarships at the University of Reading. For example, the UK government, they provide scholarships to international students as well. One of them is Chevening Scholarships. So this is the UK government's flagship scheme for scholarships to international students. Unfortunately, Chevening Scholarships is closed for 2022 already, and the next entry point will be 2023 academic year. And the applications normally open in November and it closed quite early. So if you are looking to study next year in 2023, there may be opportunity for you to apply for Chevening Scholarship. So Chevening Scholarship is very generous. It's full scholarships that covers tuition fee and also living expenses in the UK as well. Over the years, we have over 500 Reading alumni that have been awarded Chevening scholarships already. So it's really, really good for our students. But again, this is very competitive scholarships for international students. And the other UK government scholarships, Commonwealth Share Scholarship Scheme, it's a relatively smaller scholarship, so it's normally subject related. So again, this year it has been closed already, but for next year there's maybe still some opportunity for you. So do check on the website when it's open again. So it's normally in the autumn term. And some other externally awarded scholarships, Phyllis scholarships, we have up to 6 full scholarships. So again, Phyllis is fully funded scholarships for international students. It's mainly for Indian students, but we also have 1 scholarships for a student from a developing country. So again, this is very competitive scholarship and is unfortunately closed for 2022 academic year already. But if you're looking for 2023 academic year, there will be opportunity, and this will open in the autumn term as well. And there are also some other externally awarded scholarships, Rotary scholarships, Joint Japan World Bank scholarships, Snowden Master scholarships, and also some governments, they will have scholarships, NGOs, charities. There are plenty of options out there. Like I said, you need to be proactive and do the research and see which one is eligible for you to apply. So just to summarize the scholarships information that we have provided here today, first of all, it's very important for you to budget for your studies, to consider the tuition fee for your program, and also to consider the personal expenses that you need to study in the UK. Secondly, when you find out the scholarships opportunity, it's very important to familiarize yourself with the funding opportunity, including the eligibility criteria, the terms and conditions, and bear in mind there are deadlines to apply for scholarships. Do check the deadlines and apply by the deadline. The application process can be very different for different scholarships. Some you apply on the university portal, some you apply online. For externally funded scholarships, the applications can be very different as well, and you need to apply on those third-party websites. So it can be very different. There are a lot of information to take on. But remember, what we covered today is just the information, but it's not everything. So there are still many details of scholarships if you're looking to apply, but we have plenty of information on the website. It is possible to secure more than one scholarships if you are awarded the partial scholarships at the university. So that is another benefit of getting the scholarships. So if you want to stay connected with the university, there are plenty of ways. If you want to check out the information after the presentation today, we do have our student ambassadors online. If you want to chat to our current students to learn about their study experience and the study life at the University of Reading, you can go to Unibuddy on our website and chat to our current students. If you want to book a one-to-one meeting, we offer at the international office, you can do so by contacting us, and I'm more than happy to talk to you on a one-to-one meeting to tell you more about our scholarships option and also about our programs and studying here at the University of Reading. We run international webinars throughout the year to cover different topics as well. You can check this by on the university website. And last but not least, we also have virtual campus tours. So you may not be able to travel to the UK before the autumn term, but if you do want to check out our website, we have virtual campus tour, very good resources for our students to have a look at our beautiful campus and also to explore a little bit about our facilities here at the university. So that's all the presentation. I hope you will find it useful. But like I said, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer it now, or you can contact us after today. You can also register your interest by filling in this form. You can just scan the QR code here and you can fill in the form, then we'll get in touch with you after the webinar today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Xiaoying. Wow, what an interesting presentation. I have questions. So just bear with me. I'm just also going to add our contact details onto the screen. Should students be interested in getting in touch about an application? There we go. So I'm very impressed to hear how many scholarship opportunities Reading is offering, which is fantastic. And on that note, we also assist students when it comes to preparing their personal statements. We give them a guide just to help them know what to talk about in a personal statement, because it can be quite broad. So we'd be happy to help students with those preparations as well. I'm so happy to see how close Reading is to London, but also how many industry connections there are so close to the campus, which brings me to my next question, which is, how does Reading approach work placements or internships or work integrated learning?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Mariana. Those are really good questions. So the first question about personal statement, I would say the advice is to make your personal statement personal. I mean, it sounds very obvious, but it's very important because sometimes we find students, they may use template or they may refer to some other external resources to work on the personal statement. That's absolutely fine. But at the end of the day, our admissions team want to know who you are, your background, and your personal experience as well. So do bear in mind your personal background and your personal experience is very important to put into your personal statement. And also it's very important for us to understand your academic background, because when you apply for university, the academic performance and your background is one of the most important factors that we consider at the university. So how your background is suitable for the program that you're applying for, that is very important, as well as your extra curriculum, what you have done, for example, internship or volunteering experience. Those can be very valuable information to put in the personal statement as well. So like I said, I would say my advice is to make it personal. And also when you talked about your experience, it's very important to give some examples of your experience rather than just talk about the program or just talk about the skills that you have. It's very important to make it detail and also to make it practical, to showcase your skills and your ability.
Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes students get so excited about the prospect of a scholarship that they forget that it really is an academic, mostly academic based opportunity. So you need to showcase your academic abilities, your extracurricular abilities, and everything that makes you an individual. And I think approaching an admissions team, which is reading so many personal statements from around the world, it's the only way that they get to know who a student really is. So definitely, thank you for that. Yes, and then just about work integrated learning or placements or internship opportunities, what is Reading's approach to that?
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good question. So Reading, we have a careers team at the university to support our students who are looking to find a placement year. So for some students, for undergraduate students, some students, they tend to take 1 year work placement, but work placement is not available for our master's programs, unfortunately. But the careers team will help our students to look for placement as well as graduate jobs here at the university. So we support our students to prepare their CVs and also to prepare for the interviews. And also for our university, we have events for our students to attend, which is great for our students if you want to learn about different industries, especially in the UK. It can be very different from the industry in your home country. Yeah, so to learn about the opportunities, and sometimes we have these job fairs where we invite we invite employers to come to our career fairs to talk to our students. Again, great opportunity for our students to networking and also to get to know different employers as well. And I would like to also mention that for students who are interested in Henley Business School, Henley, they have a careers team dedicated for Henley students, which is great service for Henley students. And again, they also run lots of events throughout the year to support students if they're looking to find a job. So looking for a job, especially in a new country, it can be quite challenging, especially when you first come to the country. You need to start the process to look for a job, but the university, we do have a lot of support, and it's great for the students to get to learn different industries, to get to learn the job market, and also it's about soft skills as well, about communication skills, about critical thinking, team working. So there are lots to learn and lots of information to take in. The most important thing is to be proactive if you are looking to find work experience in the UK during your study or after your study. It's very important for you to do your research and also to take into the knowledge and the information. So myself, I came here as an international student a few years ago, and I went through the process myself to look for a job in the UK. So I totally understand it can be quite challenging, and it can sometimes also can be quite scary at the beginning. You don't know what to expect. It can be a very challenging process, but it's definitely be a very worthwhile process at the end when you get your offer and when you get the experience to work in the UK.
I mean, you're giving us first-hand experience. So thank you for that. That's great. And look, Henley, the business school, I think it's one of Reading's notable offerings. So it's fantastic to hear that the school itself is dedicated to helping students build those soft skills, build those networks, so that even if it's not a progression into an employment opportunity in the UK, it's giving students a background to be able to network and find exactly what their niche is. And carrying on from, the Henley Business School and how popular it is for Reading, I'm also really excited to hear about how many very niched courses Reading offers, because I think sometimes students can be very taken by the very common subjects like law, accounting, engineering, which are fantastic subjects as well. But it's really nice to focus on something that the university has to offer, which is different. For example, meteorology, the ranking for meteorology is fantastic. Agriculture, real estate, which is also such a big part of our economy and can sometimes be overlooked as an opportunity to progress in your studies. So I love to see how many niched courses Reading has to offer. And I wonder, are there any niched courses that you think are overlooked sometimes, or anything that Reading offers that you think is quite interesting or quite a popular course to be?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a really, really good point, Mariana. I would say for Henley Business School, the realistic management programs that I just mentioned, we are ranked second in the UK, and it's quite a special offering, I would say, for UK universities. Yeah, not many UK universities have this program, but Henley, we do have this program offer in both undergraduate and postgraduate levels, and also is for real estate. You can choose also real estate finance or real estate. So there are different programs within Henley and within real estate as well. I'm very pleased to see we have quite a lot of South African students applying for real estate. So it's really, really good. Yeah. And also for other programs like meteorology, it is quite niche indeed at the moment, but I do find more students are interested in this area, especially when climate change and global warming issues become more and more popular or trendy nowadays. We do see more students are interested in this area, as well as environmental science, this kind of programs. And also at Reading, we have speech and language therapy. So those courses sits in psychology school. We have quite a lot of applications as well. So these programs tend to be very competitive. But again, I don't think many universities offer those kind of programs. And we see a lot of demand and interest from students.
Definitely. Even in South Africa, there is quite a demand for speech and language, speech and hearing. And I know it is quite a niche course as well, and not many universities offer. So thank you for telling us about that one as well. I just want to come to my last question. Over the past 2 years with COVID, being an issue for everybody across the board, universities have made concessions for students and offered online learning. Now that measures have started to become a bit more relaxed, is Reading still offering an online option, or do students need to exclusively start on campus?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So looking at this September term, we haven't confirmed the details of what it will look like for this autumn term. But at the moment, for students studying at the university, they have come to the campus to do the class on campus. And so for 2021, so that's last autumn, because there was some uncertainty about COVID. So when we begin the term, we delivered in a blended approach. So some lecture that have a lot of students are delivered online, and some workshop seminar with smaller classes, students will be studying on the campus. So from the spring term, all things have gone to become offline already, except for those lecture, like big lecture, they're still online. But students are expected to come to the campus to finish the program. So personally, I would expect this to be the same for autumn term, but like I said, we haven't confirmed the details. I haven't received the formal information from the university. But in the UK, the government has lifted the COVID restrictions in the country. So we are quite lucky to live in a certain level of normality now in the UK, but still, like the university, we are still taking cautious measurements to keep our students and our staff safe. For example, we're still encouraged to wear face covering in indoor places at the university, even though the government have lifted the restrictions. So we're still working very hard to keep our students safe, and we of course will consider this and for the autumn term. When we have the information available, I'm sure we will inform our students and our agents and our partners.
Yes, thank you. I'm sure students are so excited to meet each other and engage and have that true student on-campus experience which Reading offers. So I'm very excited to see what happens, and I'm so excited for students to come in September. But otherwise, this has been such an informative and such an exciting session. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to share all of this information with us. And for students who are watching this, if you have any questions, please pop us an email here and we'll get in touch. I'll be communicating directly with Xiaoying about your application, and we'll assist you throughout the process. We're literally going to hold your hand throughout your application process. So we're very excited to help you, Xiaoying. Thank you once again, and have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you, Marianne. I really enjoyed the session today, and I hope you all find it useful as well. Any further questions, feel free to get in touch with us. I'll be more than happy to answer. Have a good day, take care, and hope to see you in Reading soon.
Yes. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.